Minister for Political and Security Affairs Budi Gunawan highlighted that Indonesia now faces a narcotics emergency with 3.3 million drug users, predominantly those aged 15 to 24. The illicit drug trade generates a staggering 99 trillion rupiah in revenue, making it a prime target for criminal activity. In response, the government has focused on 3 priority actions to combat drug trafficking and address this critical situation.
Yang pertama adalah komitmen penuh dari seluruh kementerian lembaga yang hadir pada rakor kali ini untuk memperkuat sinergi dan saling mendukung dalam upaya pemberantasan dan memerangi narkoba. Kedua, pemerintah juga akan memasifkan penelusuran dan pemblokiran dana rekening terkait peredaran narkoba, serta mengkaji percepatan eksekusi hukuman mati bagi terpidana narkotika yang sudah inkrah atau berkekuatan hukum tetap dan sudah tidak ada lagi upaya hukum, sehingga tidak ada lagi ruang peredaran narkoba yang dikendalikan dari dalam lembaga pemasyarakatan. Ketiga, pemerintah akan terus menggencarkan langkah-langkah edukasi dan kampanye bahaya narkoba kepada komunitas masyarakat, komunitas pelajar, mahasiswa, dan berbagai kelompok lainnya melalui penggunaan berbagai platform untuk meningkatkan kesadaran tentang bahaya narkoba dan mencegah penyalahgunaan narkotika sejak usia dini.
The government, through the Drug Eradication Desk within President Prabowo Subianto's Asta Cita program, remains committed to intensifying efforts against drug trafficking in Indonesia. Key actions include focused efforts on tracing and blocking illicit funds associated with drug trade activities. Additionally, the government will enforce money laundering regulations to target dealers and traffickers, ensuring stronger accountability and disruption of criminal networks. See Today contributor reporting from Jakarta.
All right, moving on to some weather-related news. As acting West Java Governor B. Mahmudin emphasized 3 priorities for disaster management after visiting a number of locations that have been affected by flash floods and landslides in the Sukabumi Regency on Thursday.
The acting governor inspected several affected areas, including Sukamaju village in Cikembar sub-district, which was devastated by shifting land. He also visited the inundated Pelabuhan Ratu Healthcare Center and Pier, as well as the destroyed Cihaur Bridge in Loji.
The acting governor, along with the West Java Police Chief Sukabumi Region and the National Disaster Mitigation Agency, then conducted a meeting to discuss efforts following the flash floods and landslides.
Mahmudin said that 138,000 residents remain without electricity, while communications have also been hampered. Authorities are still collecting data regarding disaster victims.
Tadi juga kami rapat koordinasi di dalam. Yang pertama fokus pada evakuasi warga, dan kedua adalah fokus juga pada penghubung transport yang terputus baik oleh longsor maupun ada beberapa jalan jembatan yang terputus, itu fokus dulu. Dan logistik kepada daerah-daerah yang terisolir itu bisa melalui kapal ya. Jadi walaupun misalnya darat terputus, melalui kapal itu sudah dilakukan. Dan posko utama kami ada di Pelabuhan Ratu. Jadi kami belajar di pengalaman, harus ada posko utama agar semua bantuan terkoordinasi itu di Pelabuhan Ratu. Dan tadi pesan Pak Deputi BNPB didampingi oleh inspektorat. Jadi semuanya terkontrol dengan baik.
Now on to more natural disaster news. Flash floods and landslide killed 2 and caused 6 others to go missing in Sukabumi, West Java.
2 days of downpour caused a landslide at Sukamaju village in Sukabumi Regency, West Java. It damaged at least 44 homes, some of which have been completely destroyed. Many residents are now seeking shelter in Islamic educational complexes and emergency tents.
The West Java provincial government also plans to relocate those who were affected by the landslides and provide aid which depends on the amount of damage that their homes have sustained. Those with heavily damaged homes will receive 60 million rupiah, while those whose homes sustain medium levels of damage will receive 30 million rupiahs, and those with lightly damaged homes will receive 15 million rupiah.
Meanwhile, the Public Works and Housing Ministry is set to repair damaged roads in 6 locations. This is estimated to last for 1.5 months.
Kebutuhan dasar pengungsi bisa terjamin, ya, sanitasinya, air bersihnya, makannya, tidurnya, pakaiannya itu harus terjamin. Kemudian kesehatan dan trauma healing yang harus diterima mereka juga terjamin. Infrastruktur daruratnya, saya akan mempelajari kira-kira jembatan atau jalan mana yang memang betul-betul harus dibangun untuk kita bisa menolong di tempat lain, baik dari PUPR ataupun dari Batalion Seni yang ada di Kodam 3 ini, sehingga bantuan yang diperlukan bisa lancar seperti biasa. Kemudian untuk yang akan direlokasi apabila memang benar-benar harus pindah, nanti tempat yang barunya akan kita minta bantuan PPMBG untuk menilai dari pergeseran tanahnya. Kalau dari PPMBG oke, kemudian pemerintah daerah bisa mengadakan, BNPB akan memberikan stimulan bantuan pembangunan rumah.
And on to other news. Celebrations for the 2024 Indonesian Navy Fleet Day culminated at the 2nd Fleet Command in Surabaya, East Java. Now, the event took place under direct leadership of Indonesian Navy Chief Admiral Muhammad Ali.
And this year's event includes the theme, Unifying Naval Power for a New and Advanced Indonesia.
The event featured a performance depicting Indonesia's golden age during Sriwijaya and Majapahit rule. It highlighted the celebration of the 79th Indonesian Navy Fleet Day at the 2nd Fleet Command in Surabaya, East Java on Thursday. The Indonesian Navy also conducted a performance which simulates an operation to secure a food logistic vessel that was hijacked by an armed group. This took place in the waters of Madura Strait, East Java. Gunshots were heard on board when a joint maritime unit, which included frogmen and amphibious reconnaissance personnel, infiltrated the vessel. The unit succeeded in defeating the hijackers and secured all hostages in the span of 15 minutes. This simulation showcased the Indonesian Navy's effort to secure the country's territorial sovereignty. It was done in celebration of this year's Indonesian Navy Fleet Day, which was directly led by Indonesian Navy Chief Admiral Muhammad Ali. The day culminated with a parade of troops and main weapon system as well as paradrop operation.
Untuk sesuai dengan visi dan misi pemerintah saat ini, bahwa kita mendukung apa yang disampaikan Bapak Presiden terkait dengan asta-cita juga kemandirian dan kemajuan di bidang maritim, terutama di mana kemandirian ini sangat diperlukan. Bapak Presiden menyampaikan bahwa kita harus mandiri di pangan, di bidang pangan maupun di bidang energi. Nah, kemudian juga kemandirian dalam industri pertahanan. Dan yang terpenting bahwa TNI Angkatan Laut sekarang ini hampir 70% mungkin alutsistanya menggunakan alutsista dari dalam negeri.
The Indonesian Navy Fleet Day is celebrated annually to commemorate and honor the Indonesian Navy's journey in safeguarding the country's maritime sovereignty.
Alrighty, folks, you know what time it is. After a quick break, we'll have Paul set to bring you some more news about the sports updates. So, Paul, any updates about basketball, soccer?
Yes, great news for Indonesian women's soccer as our national team has come home with the AFF Women's Cup 2024. And from basketball, as you mentioned, we have some local basketball news as Jakarta is preparing for the DBL Finals, as well as some basketball news from the NBA, as the Atlanta Hawks seems to be the mid-tier team that is taking down the big names, as they have now broken the Milwaukee Bucks' winning streak by taking them down 119-104. We also have a struggling Los Angeles Lakers team right now who is barely able to keep above 500, and LeBron James seemingly still in his shooting slump as they drop a huge one against the Miami Heat. We also have some updates from the racing world, from the FIA as well in regards to their recent developments, plus some sumo wrestling news as the second ever event outside of Japan is set to return to London after 34 long years. All that and more when we return here on the C Morning Show. Stay tuned. Your Friday morning sports update is coming up next.
We have the latest global economy and business trends.
U.S. Federal Reserve on Thursday slashed interest rates by 25 basis points.
And astute analyses from experts on the current economic dynamics.
We see right here the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped to 159.
Tune in to See Today Business live at 12:30 p.m. every Monday to Thursday and at 1 p.m. on Fridays.
As the host of this year's summit, President of Brazil, President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, closed the Group of 20 or G20 summit on Tuesday and handed over the presidency to South Africa.
Depois da presidência sul-africana, todos os países do G20 terão exercido pelo menos uma vez a liderança do grupo. Será um momento propício para avaliar o papel que desempenhamos até agora e como devemos atuar daqui.
At first glance, we see their face like a cat and their body like a bear. We will get to know more about bearcat, or what we usually know as binturong.
Awal tertarik karena saya melihat bebeknya itu kok warnanya unik, lucu gitu. Kalau dilihat itu lucu banget gitu.
Kalau boleh saya bilang itu unggas tercantik di dunia, Mas. Karena dia ketika mekar, bulunya cantik sekali.
Nah, mudah-mudahan Pak Regen bisa nambah fasilitas lah. Jangan sampai nanti kita berhenti.
Bisa diseduh dulu nggak nih? Emang gue luang.
Dari gue dong, jangan malah belain Surya.
Emang performa lu sekarang kan lagi turun, Gi.
Saya di atas terus kok, Pak.
Performa? Apa sih yang ada di pikiran kamu? Kesana mulu. Pak Regen suka sama Hesti. Hah? Hah? Bagaimana?
Otak kita ini 70% lebih aktif saat tidur.
Oh, wow.
Nah, pada saat tidur mimpi apalagi.
Saya cuma duduk, senderan gitu saya tidur.
Ya nggak normal sih sebenarnya.
Efeknya bagaimana? Begadang terus gitu, efek buruk bagi kesehatan.
Karsinogen.
Yin yoga memang untuk mencairkan nervous system kita. Kalau kamu kesulitan tidur, anxiety, tegang, stres dan sebagainya.
Ya, orang memanggil Raja Dangdut itu ya saya sendiri nggak tahu sejak kapan ya. Tapi kan semua itu yang melihat masyarakat.
Ya, maksudnya waktu aku workshop lagi itu aku ngerasa kayak ini relate banget sama aku. Jadi ya udah deh aku ambil.
At the age of 21, Leodra can be considered one of the brightest singers in the Indonesian music industry. Despite the fierce competition, Leodra stands out as one of the most prominent artists.
What's happening now?
President Prabowo Subianto and Vice President Gibran Rakabuming Raka that took their oaths of office at the Parliament building earlier today.
Exclusive interviews and all the latest in entertainment.
We don't talk only about the money, but we talk about the timing.
Spice up your afternoon with a variety of up-to-date information.
Buenos Aires, Argentina, where Liam Payne passed away on Thursday.
Don't miss it with 3-hour news show every day at 5 p.m.
I'm starting my journey old style in this beautiful traditional Beluga sailboat. There's no wind to sail this time, Abea. Hello. Hi. When I found these guys, it's like Noah's Ark back here.
Since I was young, I had an intense desire to discover the world around me. This is my first time driving in South America. That hasn't changed, just the level of adventure. Now, every journey has a purpose. And each time I venture out to explore new destinations around the globe. Yeah. That's a biggie under there. I am following my travel quest.
I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails.
Morning show, everyone. There's a reason there's a big smile on my face this morning. That's because the Indonesian women's football team has recently won the 2024 AFF Women's Cup title after defeating Cambodia 3-1. The Indonesian women's football team has made history by securing their first AFF Women's Cup title following a stunning 3-1 victory over Cambodia. The final match took place at the New Lao National Stadium in Vientiane on December the 5th. Refa Octaviani scored twice during the 24th and 57th minutes, while Sydney Sari Hopper extended Indonesia's lead in the 35th minute to secure a victory for Garuda Pertiwi. Meanwhile, Hawk Saudi managed to score in consolation goal for Cambodia during the 32nd minute. Following this victory, Indonesia now joins Singapore and Cambodia in qualifying for the 2025 ASEAN Women's Championship. Congratulations, obviously, to the women's team. We're looking forward for hopefully similar success on the men's side in the AFF. Let's turn our attention now from football to some basketball news, as the 2024 Jakarta DBL Finals are set to take place today at the Indonesia Arena. This year's finals feature a repeat of last year's matchups. In the boys category, defending champions Jubilee High School will face Bukit Siong again. Meanwhile, Jubilee High School will also be competing against defending champions State High School 70 in the girls category.
For the Jakarta DBL Finals, where the capital's top high school teams will battle it out for the championship tomorrow. Once again, the DBL Finals will be held right here in the Indonesia Arena, which previously played host for last year's 2023 FIBA World Cup. Over 12,000 people attended the last year's Jakarta DBL's finals, and that hype and anticipation is expected to grow and follow into this year's finals, as Jakarta basketball fans will be treated to some very familiar matchups.
The 2024 Jakarta DBL Finals for the men's category will see Jubilee High School and Bukit Siong returning for their third consecutive finals match. In the two prior finals, Jubilee bested Bukit Siong in very entertaining and tight games, dethroning Bukit Siong that previously had three-peated, winning championships in 2019, 2020, and 2021. Anticipation among Jakarta basketball fans is building to find out whether Bukit Siong can reclaim their dominance or whether Jubilee will win their third championship in a row. The women category finals will also see a familiar game with a repeat of last year's finals, as defending champs State High School 70 faces off against Jubilee. Last year marks the continuation of State High School 70's dominance, as they won their third championship in a row, making them the first women's DBL team to three-peat. However, this year they will be missing a key piece of their 2023 championship team, namely star guard Kiwa Amabel, who has already graduated. Over 12,000 people attended last year's finals, and DBL's Vice Director Yondang Tubangkit is confident that the number will continue to grow. He further emphasized how the Indonesia Arena is the perfect venue to reflect the growth of the DBL.
This is to show that this place, this Indonesia Arena, the greatest, the biggest indoor stadium in the country.